On behalf of Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association, I would like to appreciate your attendance to the first virtual meeting of Women Entrepreneurs Council of CACCI, as well as Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association. This has been an honor to have the excellencies from CACCI as well as WEC and the Businesswomen Association in Iran. Without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Azar Kianinejad, the chairwoman of Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association, and then I will ask Ms. Nurul Hoda Purabbas, the first vice chairwoman of the association, to introduce themselves. Ms. Kianinejad, the floor is yours.
My name is Azar Kianinejad, and now I'm the chairman of the board of directors of Businesswomen. The aim of the Businesswomen Center is to create a space for women's joint cooperation in social, culture, economic fields, and cooperation. I'm sure that by establishing relationship with you and international communicated, this cooperation will be better established at the international level. And all of women in the all of the country, and especially Iran, will use their results. I know that the time of this meeting is very limited, so I leave the continues of this communication to my cooperation. And thank you very much again for this time and for this meeting. In the end of this meeting, if there was a question, I can speak and answer to your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to enlighten us about your remarks concerning introducing the association. I will definitely go through some slides after the remarks has been done to give a brief summary of our activity. By now, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Nurul Hoda Purabbas, the first vice chairwoman of Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association.
I am Nurul Hoda Purabbas, first vice chairwoman and member of board of International Business Women Association. We would like to have bilateral cooperation in order to share our knowledge and your knowledge, to have training and we inform the latest finding that you have, or maybe we finding it, and we want to implement a model that improve our members to have a better chance to involve between our country and your countries, and have a good trade with your countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to enlighten us with your remarks as well. Of course, Mr. Honrado and Mr. Shu, I'm afraid, have seen Dr. Nurul Hoda Purabbas in ISGM meeting, because she's actually the Director General of ISGM as well. Sorry, she is the General Secretariat of the society as well. If you please, may I share the slides with the excellencies to actually give reflection on the association's activities? May I? I would like to introduce the association to the excellencies. As the name actually designates, Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association is an association that works under Khorasan Razavi Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mine and Trade. And in this picture, you will see the president of the chamber, Mr. Shafi'i, and our board of members. In this actual slide, you will see Ms. Kianinejad, Ms. Nurul Huda Abbas as the chairwoman and the first vice president, and that's me, Shaqaiq Molla Razai, the second vice chairwoman, Ms. Daneshvar, the board member of the association, Ms. Samsami, the second board member, and Ms. Shafai as the auditor association. I would like to draw your attention to a point that Mr. Shafai is not only the president of Khorasan Razavi Chamber of Commerce, but he's also the president of Iran Chamber of Commerce as well. Well, in this part, you will see just a brief summary of what do we do in the association. We've got a couple of actually activities such as running training and business consultation for business women, supporting small and medium-sized business owners. We've got a couple of social responsibilities, and we've done industrial visits as well. It might be interesting to know that the association has more than 30 members. By this number, I mean the business women who have the Chamber of Commerce cards for importing and exporting goods to Iran. The rest of the women who have joined the association doesn't have this Chamber of Commerce cards for importing and exporting, but they have small and medium-sized businesses who are under developing. In the next slide, I would like to draw your attention to our networking that has been occurring here. Ladies and gentlemen, if we believe that networking and developing communication is a pivot, or let's say our pivot of business women associations empowerment, we have done a couple of things through this. For instance, we have joined the Mashhad Chamber of Commerce commissions, such as Energy Commission. We've got a couple of programs with Women Affairs in Provincial Governmental Office and Women Committee in City Council of Mashhad. We have some cooperation as well as site visits with Khorasan Razavi Small Industries and Industrial Park Organization, and as well as economic deputy of Mashhad and Mashhad International Exhibition too. But what's quite particular and specific in our areas of activity is a matter of communication and networking with Iran Business Women Association. As I have already introduced the association in the previous correspondence, Khorasan Razavi Business Women Association is one of the branches of Iran Business Women Association. Here you will see the picture of our latest meeting with Mashhad Chamber of Commerce Steering Council of Associations. Here you will see the logos of our members, how they have supported us through these years. And here you will see some of our activities concerning running some virtual talks by our members to introduce themselves, and actually participating in reunion ceremonies that has been occurring in other cities, such as Abadan, which is located in the south of Iran. And in this slide, you will see our yeah, I guess that's better. Our supporting small business in Khorasan Razavi by running and supporting business women owners who have worked in industrial as well as handicraft industry through running some exhibitions. If we continue for networking, we also run a couple of reunion and networking events, not only with our members in Iran, but also with some business women from Afghanistan as well. And we are building our, let's say, reinforcing our networking sphere to engage with more business women in the region. And in our latest activity, we have gone to an industrial visit to Shah Saban Manufacturer Company. Here, I am afraid you can actually see more of our members and their site visit to the company. Shah Saban is quite popular with producing beverages, herbal beverages, tea, and of course, some other products such as powder, ready-made powder for cakes and cookies, as well as manufacturing saffron, which is quite distinctive. If you just serve a Shah Saban manufacturer or Shah Saban on the net, you can actually have access to their company too. By now, that's the end of the presentation. Thanks. By now, I would like to give the floor to Mr. David Shu, the Director General of CACCI, to enlighten us with his remarks concerning CACCI's activities and introduction.
Thank you, Ms. Mona Lisa. I hope this time my pronunciation is more correct. Appreciate for your slide presentation. Sorry, I haven't prepared these slides. Anyhow, next time we have to improve ourselves. So yes, so Ms. Azar Kianinejad, the Chairwoman of the Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association, and Ms. Norohoda Porabas, the first Vice Chairwoman of KHBWA, and of course, and Ms. Shahaya Moraliza, the second Vice Chairwoman of KHBWA, and our Ms. Mukta Nandini Jain, Chairperson of the CWECs. Again, that's a pleasure for us, even though we met each other with Ms. Moses 3 times this week, but it's still my great pleasure to attend today's introductory meetings between these KHBWA and CWECs. So I just take a few seconds to briefly introduce about CACCI. So CACCI is a regional institution established in 1966. It is mainly composed of 27 national levels chambers of commerce and industries from 25 countries and independent economies in the Asia Pacific regions. And together with that, we also have about 30 affiliate member and 207 lifetime members as well. And the CACCI serves as a platform for promoting and increasing the business interactions and the economic growth in this region. And we sincerely look forward to cooperate with all these related institutions and agencies around the world, so to create the further prosperous environment for business development and livings. And let's together to have today's introduction to be the first step of the forthcoming cooperations. And thank you.
Thanks a million for your distinctive and comprehensive introduction to the Confederation's activities as well as its history. By now, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Mukta Nandini.
Let me begin by thanking you for reaching out to us. I really appreciate it. And as David himself said, I would not like to waste your time and thank each one of you separately, but the presentations were absolutely wonderful. And let me tell you that in all the 16 years that I have worked with CACCI, they have been one of the most dynamic and helpful chamber organizations that I have been privileged to interact with. And going forward, we would be very, very happy to partner and to do something for women empowerment in Iran, and especially in the Khorasan region. So in the past, we have had the pleasure of organizing workshops for, growth of international business, retail business. We've done workshops on that. And we have constantly taken part in the business delegations that CACCI has promoted. And that we have found very, very helpful because it has given the women an equal opportunity to meet different people, because usually women have a difficult time in making acquaintances, opening doors for their businesses, and they don't even know who to approach. So CACCI has been very instrumental in opening doors in various countries. And now in these 16 years that I have been heading the Women Entrepreneurs Council for them, I have had the pleasure of meeting diverse women from across the 27 countries. So you tell me how you would like us to help Iran and its women to grow in the business areas and culture, whatever you want. You tell us and let us see how we can put synergies together and make something worthwhile for both the countries.
I do believe CACCI will actually bridge the gap between women in the region, and it will empower women to prosperous their business as well. And it is actually a window of opportunity, to my actually belief, for women to join. In terms of actually how we can work mutually, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Azar Kianinejad if she is ready to enlighten us with her remarks.
This cooperation between Iran and the Khorasan Association with the CACCI can make a relationship and can make a space for benchmarking businesswomen in the different level. For example, all of the women in Iran have a different level of the business associate business level and business atmosphere. If with this cooperation, we can benchmark some other business market, business models, and find the way for improve way and improve solution for the better make business for all of the women in Iran and especially in Khorasan. The ways of this benchmark can make with the workshop, conference, online or physical, and especially some training can make, or visit some visit some factory that with owner of the woman business can make the benchmark for women's.
Thank you. Thanks a million for your remarks as well. As far as we can actually figure out benchmarking and networking, as well as finding a model for mutual training in various aspects of business cooperation can really help women in Iran. Honestly, I can say the business women atmosphere or the economic advancement of business women in Iran may not very distinctive to beyond border. So we would like to be a facilitator in order to let their voice be heard and let other voices be heard in Iran too. We think by doing some mutual activities, for instance, having a memorandum of understanding between both parties, we can actually work in order to empower business women, not only in Iran, but also find and, of course, facilitate the networking between women in Iran and women in Asia Pacific. Ms. Mukta, would you like to enlighten us with your ideas and suggestions?
You know, offhand, I was just thinking if you were to tell me which are the pain points of the women in Iran in business. And maybe to begin with, we could have a short conference. Either we could have it in Iran or women can come to Delhi, and we could organize a small conference where we can do this kind of training so that the women can start improving their business houses within their own countries to begin with. And then we can also simultaneously look at how we can do businesses within the different countries of the Asia Pacific region.
You would like to begin our mutual recognition by running a small conference in order to get familiar with the business atmosphere,
Yes.
both in Iran and
Yes.
beyond. And what will be the next step?
And then we could, once we figure out, until and unless we meet and we understand and we communicate with each other, which are the areas that they are looking for help and understanding their the business scenario with the women in Iran. Until we understand that, it is very difficult to come up with a solution immediately, because women have very different problems. Each business house of a woman is very different, and the men's business is very, very different compared to the trials and difficulties that women face in business. So it would be very important for us to first understand what the women in Iran are looking for, what are their problems. And once we understand those problems, then we can look at how we can help you solve those problems.
If I want to explain about the business woman in Iran, I can say business at the first step, business woman in Iran, especially Khorasan, is a SME, small model business. When we want to, when they want to improve and improve communication with the other business for implementing new and new market, they want to know how can they connect it and get network with the other women in the new market. We want to, with this cooperation network, now and learn to women and business for more international negotiation. Is it understand, and is it okay for your question?
It was okay, I'm afraid, but Ms. Mukta has emphasized on running a short conference in order, bilateral short conference, in order to get to know the atmosphere, the business atmosphere of Iran. So do you agree with
Yes.
holding a conference?
Yes, yes. It's very important and useful for all of the men, all of them, and I'm very agree for these important things. Thank you very much for getting this conference.
Would you actually honor Iranian women to visit Mashhad, Khorasan, Razavi? If you and your team, I mean, the members of WEC will enlighten us, why not? We will actually highly welcome. But if you can actually have it on virtual, it's also okay. But we really would like, I mean, WEC and CACCI representative to visit Iran in order to get familiar with businesswomen and of course it's the economic atmosphere that we have to tackle in order to improve and enhance our business.
We would be very happy to begin with virtual conferences, and after that, whenever the weather is very good, we would be more than happy to visit the country, because it is very, very wonderful, and it's very important for women businesses that until and for them to meet each other, because I have always found that women interact and deal with business on an emotional level as well as on a mental level. So when the two combine, it becomes very invincible. So I would be very, very happy to bring a team of women and my officers from the CACCI Secretariat as well. And in the meantime, we would be very happy to organize and have virtual Zoom calls and small conferences so that we get to understand each other a little bit more.
So based on what I actually can summarize about this issue is to have a kind of orientation meeting.
Yes.
And in the form of virtual conference so that
Yes.
You can also get familiar with our members and fields of activity. For instance, by introducing themselves, having some video clips of their business environment, some Q&A, as well as your site, whatever you will actually can put it in this part.
And also,
is it
very important is to know which industries they are already working in, so that we can find similar industry owners from the different member countries, because that would give better synergy to the conference.
Sure, we will actually. This has been an honor to actually host the first virtual conference between Iran Businesswomen Association from Khorasan Razavi as well as WEC, CWEC actually as well. We will take the issue to actually be discussed further within the association, and we will also discuss the issue with Khorasan Chamber of Commerce as well. And then, if you please, we can actually inform the excellencies formally through a later on in order to set the date, put the agenda, things as well. Will it please you?
Thank you so much. I will wait to hear from you so that we can take this conversation further, so that we can have lots of programs and benefit women at large.
Sure, we will. By the end of the meeting, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Honrado, the biggest help actually, and for Iran. Actually, he has done great things for Iranian business youth, Iranian business women, and actually Iranian managers for green energy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss Mullah Reze. Just wanted to add a little bit background on the CWEC. The CACCI Women Entrepreneurs Council was established in 2005 during the council meeting held by CACCI in Tbilisi, Georgia. And since then, the CWEC has been ably led and chaired by, of course, Ms. Mukta. And through her initiative, she has started several activities to really push the objective of the CWEC, which is to promote the growth and development of women entrepreneurs in Asia-Pacific region through various activities, especially through networking. And one of these activities, of course, is to organize breakout sessions during at least once a year. And these breakout sessions are usually held in conjunction with the annual conference. So over the years, Mrs. Mukta has chaired these breakout sessions in different countries where the CACCI conferences were held. And another initiative of Mrs. Mukta, of course, was to set up the publication, which is devoted mainly to women entrepreneurs. And she called this GROW, G-R-O-W. And this publication, which we issue at least twice a year, would serve as a channel or platform for information exchange among the women entrepreneurs from different countries. So here we would encourage your association from Iran, if they have any information or any activities that they would like to share with our other women entrepreneurs from other member countries, you are most welcome to contribute articles for our newsletter, which is edited and chaired, of course, by Mrs. Mukta. And of course, we also have some training programs, as Mrs. Mukta mentioned earlier, and we tried to do this in association with our knowledge partners. And so, in fact, as there are, of course, other venues where there can be information exchange and mentoring or even sharing of experiences and best practices among the young entrepreneurs. As you know, Miss Mullah Reze, we have the Young Entrepreneurs Group of Asia Pacific, and many members of the Young Entrepreneurs Group Asia Pacific are also women. And in fact, we have had 2 sessions with the Young Entrepreneurs Group where women businessmen from Papua New Guinea and from Mongolia, they shared their experience or their journey as an entrepreneurship when they started their business, what were the challenges that they faced, and how they overcame these challenges. I think your women entrepreneurs from Iran would really learn a lot from this sharing of experiences with the other young with the businessmen from other countries in the region. So I know that you are, Ms. Mularese, you're a member of the YEGAP as well, representing Iran. So you may want to encourage the women businessmen of Iran to take an active part also in some of the activities of the Young Entrepreneurs Group, which of course would include also women entrepreneurs. I know there are a lot of women entrepreneurs in Iran who are young as well and are trying to set up their own businesses, and they could learn a lot from the experience of the other young women entrepreneurs from other countries. So we're as Mrs. Mukta mentioned, it is really important that first, of course, there's an initial meeting between the 2 groups of women entrepreneurs from Iran and from other member countries, so that they will know more what are the problems and challenges that they face, and then they can then have an exchange of ideas on how to address all these challenges and problems that they might have. So again, the CACCI Secretariat, under the leadership, of course, of Mr. David Shu, would be more than willing to help out in assisting you to conduct these activities that you would like to implement or carry on within the next few months to really achieve your objective. So I'm sure we have, of course, other venues where we can be of help to our CACCI members, as we set up a CACCI Foundation, which provides grants to entrepreneurs who might be in need or assistance to help grow their businesses. And these grants, over the past 6 years, we have given grants to a number of our member chambers which they use for training for their own members as well. And these are mainly for women entrepreneurs. So we've had one in Bangladesh, and then we had another one in Mongolia as well. and that training activity in Mongolia was focused on women entrepreneurs in the cosmetic industry. So CACCI has several venues where it can provide some assistance to our groups to help them promote their development in the region as well. And of course, one of the initiative I would like to mention also that one of the initiatives of Mrs. Mukta also was to set up the Asia Pacific Women Entrepreneurs Awards. So this was set up in 2016 under the initiative of Mrs. Mukta. And every 2 years we gave this award. So this last year was the third award given out. And you'll be proud to know that the first winner for the Asia Pacific Women Entrepreneur Award was from Iran, Miss Fatemi Mojimi. And then last year, we had another winner from, let me see.
Mongolia.
Mongolia, yes. So, so hopefully we'll have more of these outstanding women entrepreneurs from Iran who might be winners in future CACCI awards. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of venues where we'll have joint activities between women entrepreneurs from Asia Pacific as well as from Iran.
This has been quite enthusiastic to know what WEC has done for the women in the region. You have actually talked about how to engage more business women and, of course, young business women to CACCI. From Khorasan Razavi Business Women Association, we really seek to do this. But what's important for us is to know more about CACCI and WEC. So as Ms. Mukta has already mentioned, by running some virtual orientation meetings, virtual actually gatherings, we can bridge the gap between not understanding or not knowing the entity and knowing it. You have also mentioned, and one thing which I've actually could figure out is having some virtual talks, something similar to what has been actually occurring to UGAP talks, and more people are questioning us, what is UGAP talk, what has been done, because the news has been spread on social media as well, and we are doing some actually programs for UGAP as well. So virtual talks will really help us in order to introduce our members to WEC members as well, and they also be introduced so we can figure out our common goals, our common obstacles, and find solutions for that. You have also, besides you've mentioned about the grants and the awards, which are highly welcomed in Iran, and I definitely believe there are some actually potentials here to be introduced for the grants and awards as well. And we hope by mutual cooperation, or let's say trilateral cooperation between CACCI, WEC, and Khorasan Razavi Chamber of Commerce, as well as Businesswomen Association, we can actually make all these things come true through months and through time. Okay, we will contact Ms. Mukta as well as Mr. Honrado in order to set the agenda for the virtual meeting, the first virtual meeting. And one point is that in Khorasan Razavi Businesswomen Association, some of the women are not familiar with English. So we need to facilitate this. They have the potential, they're highly, let's say, prosperous in terms of their own business, but there is a matter of language barrier. So we need to tackle this and find some solutions for that. We hope to build a very good future for women in the region, as well as not only in our country, but also in the region, particularly in Asia Pacific. If any other points?
Yes, Ms. Moraliza, I would like to request you, is that possible? You can make a very brief introduction about this Khorasan Razavi, this province. We have very limited knowledge about this province.
Khorasan Razavi province is located in northeastern part of Iran. When you surf the net about Khorasan Razavi, the first and foremost thing may actually be actually revealed through Google is a matter of the religious tourism that we have, because Imam Riza's holy shrine, in terms of our religion, the shrine is located in Mashhad, and because of the importance of religious business opportunities in Khorasan Razavi, the city as well as the province is highly popular with its religious tourism and tourism section in this part. Besides, we can actually say Khorasan Razavi province has some mines which are highly welcome. For instance, turquoise, we could mention it, some stones which are really precious here. And it is the heart of industry in northeastern of Iran as well, for instance, for gas, petrol, as well as some other terms of economic as well. Ms. Kianinejad is the head of business clinic in industrial park of Khorasan Razavi as well. And if we have this honor that you will visit Mashhad as well as Khorasan Razavi province, we can actually invite you to take an industrial tour to the industrial site of this, because dozens and thousands of industrial units are working there. If there is any other point you would like to, I can actually help you. And what's quite interesting is that in Khorasan Razavi, like the other cities of Iran, and of course in each province, we have Chamber of Commerce. And in this Chamber of Commerce, there is a huge number of business parties and businessmen as well as businesswomen who are a member of this chamber, and they have various commissions such as Social Responsibility Commission, Energy Commission, Tourism Commission, Trading Commission, so on, and Investing Commission as well. It has a very distinctive potential to get familiar with them as well.
Thank you.
Most welcome, most welcome. If there is any other point the Excellencies would like to highlight, we're at your service.
Okay. I want to say at the first, thank you very much for taking the time for this meeting, and then thanks a lot for your very best and very good suggestions for have a common conference and meeting visual. Okay.
Thank you so much to be here. Ms. Purabas, would you like to add some points?
Yes, thank you. And we need to assist us to implement our goals and help us to achieve our objective. Thank you. And actually, I say Khorasan is the land of saffron, and invite
Okay.
you.
Your
For
saffron is so
saffron.
famous. Your
Yes.
saffron is so famous in the world. Yeah.
Yes. In Iran, we have one land for saffron, and our land in Khorasan Razavi is suitable for saffron just. And I invited you to come here and see our land for saffron. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a
Goodbye.
nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.